Welcome to Living Chassidus. Together, let's live the Chassidus we learn.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Chassidus in the morning. 15 minutes to change our lives. Kuntres and when Mayim Yud Ches, we're going to start off by giving tzedakah. And through giving tzedakah, we're going to bring Mashiach closer. We're also going to focus on all the yidden Eretz Yisroel that through the learning should be safe and healthy, and also the people that are still in captivity, the hostages, and the soldiers, and specifically we're going to focus on Noam ben Tzelya. That Mitzvah Hashem should be all good and safe and should come back home speedily. Okay, we're continuing on this discussion about how does this all work. We seem like to find three different sort of places, three different ideas. One is that between Rosh and Yom Kippur is set how much we're going to have by Nasa. That's one. The other one is that every day would judge. And then there's the story of Yeviyese, that he would every day before he ate, as the food was there in front of him, before he would prepare it, he'd daven for food. And what's going on? What are you davening for food? You have the food. So let's understand all this. That's all we're understanding. That's what we're understanding. So we're starting to discuss about Seder Shtashis a little bit and how everything works, and how Rosh and Yom Kippur and Sesame Tshuva, how things go, how it goes from Malchus and you have Chachma, and it goes to Atigam, which is even high level, which is up to the highest level, even higher than the way it is on Shabbos. And that's what we're talking about. And on the Il Yom Kippur is when the Chesima, there's the signing up. And ultimately we asked, it talks about that there's a Hey verse on Yom Kippur. And what's this Hey verse? Yom Kippur is really the day of judgment, but it's not a day of judgment. There's a lot of mercy. That's the time of Eis Ratzin by Hashem. Hashem wants to forgive, and he said the day of forgiveness. So what's these Hey verse? So let's see. So the idea is like this. We're going to discuss Malchus. The Malchus, the Atzilus, Malchus of Atzilus, he marker, Meker, Ha'ilamis, the Bri Yitzir Asiyah. It's the source of all the worlds of Bri Yitzir and Asiyah. Like it says in Tehillim, Malchus, Malchus Ka'ilim. Your kingship is kingship over all the worlds. Yeah, so we see that Malchus is the source of all worlds. So Malchus of Atzilus, which is the lowest level in Atzilus, it becomes a source it's the highest level of the level below it, of Bria, and that's how it comes down. That descent to be able to make a physical world. Because remember, we have the spirituality, there's godliness, and then we live in physicality. And to get from spirituality to physicality doesn't really just come by itself. So there's a whole chain-like descent, and there's called tzimtzumim, contraction, just like getting the water from Niagara Falls or electricity from the power plant so we can plug it in. It has to have through a whole descent of gradations and things in order that you can plug in your plug and it works. But if you couldn't just plug it in from the power plant, and even if you managed to put in a plug, it'd be way too strong. So too with godliness. Godliness, as it is in Atzilus, is way too strong. So there's contraction that have to happen so we can have this physical world. And the main contractions comes through the level of Malchus, which is the lowest world of each world. And that's what I'm saying here. Malchus is Malchus is the source of all the worlds. The source of their creation of their existence comes from Malchus. And also simply you can think about it in terms of the world, that women, which are associated with Malchus, are the ones that create. They're the ones the source of creation, just like Malchus is the source of creation of all the worlds. And Malchus is called the mother of all living things. Lafishi makar hachayim or makar kol hashpais b'chol elmes. It's the source of everything and the source of all the flow into the all worlds. Whatever we have is coming from this level of Malchus. It is the Pardes, it says in the Pardes, Bishar Erech Hakinuyim Erech Chava. One talks about there in the Pardes, Shehi Sfiras HaMalchus. Shenikres Eim Kol Chai. This is the level of Malchus, which is called the mother of all living things. Again, same idea. That Malchus of Atzilus is the source of everything and everything that exists. And we have all existence starts from there. Vine, so behold, every single day, Hare Midazu, Mechadeshes, Shefa, Ha'er, V'achesed, Elyon, B'chol Ilmis. So this doesn't happen once a year, happens every day. This is how we say in Davin, in benching, Hazan is a Elam, Kulei, B'tuvei, B'chein, B'chesed, that Hashem sustains the world. We don't say he sustained the world, he sustains the world, meaning it's happening every day. B'chein, B'chesed, Barachim, mercifully, kindly. And that's what's happening, but it's happening every day. Like I was saying, what does it say over there? Shlishiyos, the first 3 hours of the day, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yeshu, 4 hours, maybe, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Yeshev, V'zan is a kol ha'elam kuloi, mikarne remim, ad bitzi chinim. He says over there that Hashem sustains the whole world from the largest of things to the smallest of things. Yeah, from the hugest into the minutest. I know. Be'elam ha'briya, began Eden elyon, ad hatachtis ha'elam ha'asiya, be'elam ha'shafon. Shekol hanivraim hanichlalim b'chlal zeh. That's, so what does this mean? It means from Bria, which is the world just below Atzilus, from Bria all the way to our physical world, which is the lowest of the low, and everything in between all that is created through Malchus. It's the source of everything. The spheres are Malchus, Chalukim, we call spheres. And this is what makes Malchus very special. Bezed, the spheres are Malchus, Netzla, Binekuda. Malchus is formed with a little point. V'hates, spheres, Sheba, and the 9 spheres that are in Malchus. Remember, Chesed V'Tiferes necessarily said, Sheba, Ba'is, beside to come in addition to it. The spheres are Malchus, Sheba Chachma, because the Malchus that's in Chachma, Nimshach liyeh spheres of Chachma Sheba Malchus. Because Malchus has everything in it, because Malchus is in every world, every level has all the spheres. Chesed has Chesed Gvur Tiferes Netzach Yesod Malchus, and Chachma has the same thing. Chachma, Bina, and Das, Chesed Gvur Tiferes, they all have it. So in Chachma it has Malchus, which is ultimately going to express itself in the Malchus of Chachma is going to express itself in the level of Chachma. It's a level of Malchus, it's Chachma. So they interchange, so to speak. Malchus has everything within inside of it. So whatever it has before, you'll also have in Malchus. Malchus, so just like in Bina there'll be Malchus, so to Malchus there'll be Bina. Malchus is very unique that it receives all its life force and everything from levels above it. And the source of all this Hamshacha comes from Keser Elyon, which is like the Keser, the crown, the Ratzain, it's above these even Chachma. And this is the idea of Malchus Rosh Hashanah. When, because in Rosh Hashanah, being that it draws down from this level of Keser Malchus, which is the Hainu, the will of Hashem, his desire to rule, to be a king over us, to have us as his people. Is explained and understood and explained also at length. Therefore, so what we're showing here in simple terms, that on Rosh Hashanah, and this assessment Tshuva, is the whole concept of Malchus being expressed. Hashem wants to have the people, he wants to have this relationship with us, and he wants to be king over us. And that's this level of Malchus, and that's coming from this Keser Elyon, which is above Chachma, above intellect. It's our Ratzon, like we said before, yesterday, about our Ratzon, the desire to live, let's say, or the deep inner desires that we have is a very deep level, and this is that very deep level that's being expressed on Rosh Hashanah. Rosh Hashanah, and every Rosh Hashanah, Nimshach Chadash, Meir Ein Sof Baruch Hu, Lemidas Malchusis Baruch. Every Rosh Hashanah, a new level of Hashem's that is being expressed from Hashem's infinite light into Malchus. I'll call Hashanah Kula for the whole year. The Hachiyah Elam is to give life force to all the worlds, which are in Bria, Yitzira, and Asiya. Lezunam lefainasam, to sustain us and to give us parnasam. So this is explaining to us, we're seeing here how this first level. Now, what is the idea that in Rosh Hashanah, between Rosh Hashanah and Kippur, the Sesame Tshuva, is decided for us? So that is the general idea that Hashem wants to be king, and Hashem and so it's all sort of pre-planned how much money is being set aside to give, how much we're going to get, parnasa, health, everything. In the beginning of the year, it's sort of set. Shiur v'chayus zehu kelel chayus ha'ela olam shana v'nefesh, and this includes the world, the time, like place, time, and nefesh, and the person. Shekol Hashanah Kula for the whole year. So everything is set on those 10 days. Ella bat Rosh Hashanah hu bekeser adayin shemechusa v'nelam. But even though it's all there in Rosh Hashanah, we don't get a dump after Rosh Hashanah of all the money and all the health and all the sustenance, whatever we need. But it's very concealed in Rosh Hashanah. Ella Rosh Hashanah hu bekeser adayin mechusa v'nelam. V'yom Kippur and Yom Kippur nimsha b'chinas hamshacha v'gilui l'mayla. So Rosh Hashanah, that's what it's set. And Yom Kippur is starts to reveal it. With Sukkot, and the Sukkot hu l'yom chagenu, which is the day we're early celebrating. Shenimshach b'gilui yoser, that it's more revealed. Ach b'chinas makif, but like a Sukkah, it's still makif. So it starts the process of coming down. Rosh Hashanah, it's set, but it's still concealed, still hidden. But as we go, Yom Kippur starts to bring it down, reveal it, and then you have it on Sukkot, it's there, but it's makif, like a Sukkah. Shmini Atzeres nimsha b'chinas pnimius, and Shmini Atzeres is brought down, internalized in an internalized way. Hezer inyan haklita de Shmini Atzeres. Ve'achar kach nimshach al yidei b'chinas malchus b'chol yom v'yom b'gilui lamata b'elam is b'yitzir, and afterwards comes down into the world in a revealed way every day. That we have parnasa. We could say during the campaign it was revealed a lot, and other days revealed less. And this is the idea of the drawing down of the chesed, the nimshach mechinas hakeser, that's coming from keser, which is even above, and it's being brought down bechinas chasadim, the atik bechinas malchus, and it's coming all the way to malchus, Rosh Hashanah, Yom Kippurim, and that's the process coming down through, starting off in malchus, really keser elyon, and being drawn down into malchus on Rosh Hashanah, starting to be more revealed on Yom Kippur. And then on Sukkot it's there, but it's a way of makif. So it comes down, but it's not usable. And then as Shmini Atzeres comes, it's actually more pnimius, and throughout the year it's expressed every day. Yeah, and it's drawn down to all the worlds. And this is sort of the process that's happening. So we sort of starting to understand this idea that on Rosh Hashanah and on Yom Kippur and that whole process, it's set what Hashem wants, as Hashem wants to be king, he wants to give everything. So all what wants to give is going to be set. So the question is, but we're saying that it doesn't get revealed every day that way. Every day we have our own job, we have to figure, and we have to discuss. Every day gets revealed, but how does it get revealed? Some days more, some days less, or is it the same every day? How does it all work? And that's what we're going to discuss in the next few memorim. How it comes down in the daily, and ultimately we have to also understand how it works with Rav Yisrael, davening for the food that he had in front of him. Kitzer, Atzilus, Spheres HaMalchus, the level of Malchus in Atzilus, beside Sheirish, Unakuda Achas, it's it has this one idea. Rosh Hashanah, Binyan HaMalchus Hashanah is a building of Malchus. Shem Kabels Miates Spheres Lamaila, that receives from the 9 spheres from above it. The source of this drawing down is coming from Keser Elyon, Keser Malchus, the crown of Malchus. Rosh Hashanah Adayin Mechusa, that Rosh Hashanah is still concealed. Yom Kippurim is Galeb, and Yom Kippur it's revealed. B'Sukkos, B'Makif, and Sukkos it gets revealed, but in no Makif particular way, so we can't really use it out. But Shmini Atzeres B'Klita starts to get grasped. Actually, even Malchus, and all this is coming out through Malchus. And yeah, this was I would say, on a little bit more the difficult side, but I think that the general idea is very simple to understand. And like I said before yesterday, in the beginning, like you have to recognize where we're going and then figure out and see everything and understand where it's taking us. And essentially, it's taking us. Everything comes from Malchus, and originally Rosh Hashanah is already set for the whole year. That's why it's such a special, powerful dance. So the Rebbeim took it so seriously. And on Yom Kippur, it's time to reveal it. And as we go throughout the year, it reveals them more. To be understood how that happens daily, the next tomorrow. Have a great day.